What's up, guys? It's Mason or it's Trollsy. Welcome back to another episode of STEM Talk, podcast for fans, by fans. I know I haven't said that in a while. This is going to be my last episode. I will be going to work. Unfortunately, I won't be able to upload no more from my POV. Our good buddy Noah or Praxis will be back recording videos for you guys. We'll have a top 10 plays coming out I want to try to get it done Wednesday, if not Thursday, for the games over the weekend. The league's about to start of the season. Season starts tomorrow. The first game, which I have the dates for right here. We have the matches right here. We have the matches. We got opening match is going to be FaZe and Breach, December 8th, 2 p.m. Central Time, followed by LAT and Surge at 3:30 same day. And as well, we got after that, we got Optic NYSL. So we get to see the new Optic with Pred and Kenny versus the new NYSL with Sib. We're going to see how that Champions team does without Priesta. Is the chemistry going to be there? Is it going to be different with Priesta not there? We don't know. Then we get to see the new LAT and the new Seattle Surge duke it out. And then we kind of have the two team. We got a new Breach team. We got Snoopy and Capsule coming back to the team. Slasher and Priesta teaming up again for the first time in a while. Going against a beast of an Atlanta FaZe team. Probably my favorite. This team is insane. And it's kind of stacked. And it's insane. It's insane of how much talent they have on that team. But we can talk about my early power rankings right now. This is what I got. Watching scrims and watching kind of the meshing of these teams together. It's just based off of what I've been seeing and just kind of what I've been hearing from the teams. And this is so from top to bottom. I got FaZe. Obviously, it's FaZe. You know, they're at the top of the league every year. You got Simpa, BZ, Celium, those three. They've been playing together for the past 4 or 5 years now. So that team's kind of, the chemistry is there. You add Draza, who's a good player. So there's no loss. There's no loss. You're just adding one thing to the equation, and I think the chemistry is already there. I mean, we've seen banter between Abizi and Draza over the past couple of years, so I think that team's gonna always be fine. The Optic guys kind of ran into a little speed bump early on with Pred and his visa, but other than that, I from what I've seen, that team is as meshed together very, very quickly. They looked a little rocky in the beginning, but granted, a lot of teams kind of got a head start on them, seeing as though they didn't have Pred, of course. But I think they look good going into the season. Once we get to see them play, of course, we'll be able to say a little bit more about it. But I think their chemistry's there already. They kind of melded together very well. Next, we got LAT. LAT, just from what I've seen, they're a bunch of hungry young guys. They got a good IGL in Ghosty. Ghosty's a good young guy who kind of knows what he's talking about. And that team is kind of meshed together. Every time I see them play together, they're having fun. They're smiling. They're laughing. They're bouncing off ideas off of one another. And I think with Shane and JCap kind of taking the young guys and kind of molding them, then it'll be a little bit better for them. But I'm liking what I'm seeing out of the LA Thieves camp. Toronto, I haven't seen much, but I've seen them playing good, but I've seen them playing bad. Anytime I'm watching scrims and BPL, I'm not seeing much out of the Toronto guys, so I don't know. I haven't seen enough from them to kind of bring them down or bring them up. So I've kind of left them in this fourth place spot throughout the whole off season because they have two talented guys with two guys that can kind of anchor their play style, but I haven't seen enough from them. We can move on to the Minnesota Rocker. We got accuracy, his young duo, and Lens. I'm liking what I'm seeing out of Lens. Accuracy's kind of been killing it in the hard points. Wake's been very active with with BPL and playing eights. So I'm liking what I'm seeing from this Rocker team. Then I guess we can move on to Carolina. Carolina, they've been playing a lot together. They were one of the first teams to start scrimming, and the chemistry seems to be there. The vibes seem to be there, so hopefully they can keep the vibes up, the chem up. Clay can bring these guys far in the league or something. He's got a couple young guys with Gwyn. He's got God RX, had a couple stints in the league, and then he's got Real, who's he's been around. I think probably one of the top Spaniards in the scene. A lot of people were shocked he didn't get picked up by the Heretics, but I'm glad to see him in the league. We can move on to NYSL. I have them 8th right now. I just think they have the most to lose from what they've added. I mean, the mental of replacing somebody after you just won champs, being one of the few teams to actually do that since a format change, is crazy to me and crazy to a lot of people. Hydra and Kismet, of course, have looked good. Skies has been floating around 8s. I haven't seen much of Sib. What I've seen from them all playing together, haven't seen much of like a high energy chemistry from them. It's been more so of kind of a more serious kind of thing. Not much joking from them that I've seen in the past when they had Priesta. So it's kind of why I have them down low. But yeah, maybe after opening weekend they move up a little bit for me, but I don't see, unless it's a very decisive win over Optic. I don't see them moving up much, if not down. Moving on, we got Boston Breach. Boston Breach, we got 4 guys who haven't played together in the CDL, but have played together in previous years. If I do believe Capsule came from the Breach Academy, as well as Snoopy and Slasher and Priesta, of course, have played together multiple times. I believe one time on 100 Thieves back in BO4, I believe, where they lost in the finals to that EU team. But yeah, I can see them playing well. Of course, you got Slasher, who's been around for a long time, played with the young guys, coached them up. So I think he's got 2 guys that'll run into a brick wall for them, with Priesta being a guy that he can kind of leave alone and let him do his thing. Then we got Vegas. We got Legion. You got Dylan Attach. I'm glad he's back in the league. We got Purge. We got let me pull up the rosters. Nero and Standys coming back to the Vegas Legion. Yeah, Standy had a good second half of the season, probably. Attached last year, gets benched, comes back, does really good. I think those two together are going to be really good. Purge, I haven't seen much of him. I'm sure he'll do fine. And Nero probably finally getting somebody to kind of guide everybody in a way in IGL, like they did on Breach whenever Zenny was there. I think that'll probably help them a lot move forward and be a better team. Next, I got Seattle Surge. The only reason I have Surge down so low, I haven't seen them play together much. Individually, they've all looked good this offseason, but as a team, I haven't seen much from them. I've seen Illy. Illy's been going nuts with these offseason tournaments, winning them all pretty much. Abuza's been looking good in the off season. I know Arcides has been playing a lot of eights, been looking good in the eights. The only person I haven't seen play is Hook. I haven't seen Hook at all recently. But yeah, I haven't seen Hook at all recently. So it's I think that team is a very high ceiling, low floor kind of team. They could probably make a move in the off season. From what I've been seeing from Abuza, he's probably up there with my favorites to win Rookie of the Year this year. Him and Lenz have been looking really good. Next we got Miami Heretics. We got a whole Spanish team. We got Vickle returning. Vickle moving to the AR role, which is very different than what we've been used to seeing him run. So that might be a little different. Then we got them already making a roster change. So in my eyes, that doesn't look good. If you're already making a roster change, then that has to be a Kim issue or something. Unless it's a personal issue, then that's different. But already making a roster change is kind of a big red flag for me. Seeing as though the season hasn't started and you've only really put in 2 weeks of scrims and you haven't even been scrimming that hard because you don't want to stream your scrims. So big red flag with their replacement of Journey, replacing Boom with Journey. So then we got LAG. LAG, of course, had a lot of drama coming from them. They had a rumored roster with Crimp, Diamond Khan, ASIM, and Exceed, I believe. And then something happened overnight. They hired a coach, and then he picked his own team that had a whole thing with that. So yeah, haven't really seen much from that team at all, and when I have, they've been getting destroyed. So hopefully they can put up a fight this season. They got a couple young guys, with Estriel, it being his first year. Diamond Khan's back in the league. I'm glad Fame is getting back in the league. I think he deserves a spot. His first major playing kind of didn't have a fair shot with the role change, and then him moving to SMG and playing really well toward the end of the year. I think him starting the season off as a SMG, we'll see big things from him. Then we move, so we can talk about my candidates for MVP, Rookie of the Year, and we can talk about who I think is going to win champs, who I think is going to win Rookie of the Year, and stuff like that, or who I think is gonna fall back. We got I could see Hydra winning MVP again, because he's just a beast of a player, honestly. It'll probably fluctuate throughout the season with this new game. The movement's different, the guns are different. You don't have a shotgun of an SMG anymore. So it could be different. I could see an AR really winning the MVP. Someone like Cell or Dashy. Rookie of the year, I'm leaning I'm leaning more toward Lens and Gwen. I've seen a lot from them recently. But Abuza, I would say, is probably my front runner for this year as of right now. But Gwen kind of has been in the system for a while. Lens has been looking really good, and plus he has a veteran who's kind of known for bringing guys in and bringing them up and building them up. He did it with Pred. He did it with Kenny. So yeah. My favorite to win champs, other than my team, obviously, I'm always going to root for LAT, but my favorite to win probably is Atlanta FaZe. I could see them winning unless something drastic happens and they just don't pan out the way that they thought. But I think FaZe is gonna definitely be my favorite. My team that I could see not work out is Toronto Ultra. I don't know. It's a different game. Yeah, they have Scrap. Scrap played really well last year, but it's different. The movement's different. Not everybody's standing in one spot. It's a lot of movement. So, yeah, they have Scrap, but not everybody's standing still. There's a lot of more movement involved. We'll see a lot more people making plays. So I don't think we'll get the same Scrap. We might get a better Envoy. Insight and Kleenex's best year was on a game that had more movement. So maybe they play good, but they're right now, from the ceiling that they do have, we're expecting them to compete for champs. The worst case scenario, I think it doesn't work out and they don't qualify. And then they do what the original plan was, and that was to blow it up, sell Scrap, get rid of everybody, and build young, kind of like LA Thieves is doing. So, yeah. I already said my favorite for MVP. My most improved player is probably going to be Shotzi. I think Shotzi is going to have a better year this year than he did last year. And a player that I think is going to have a worse year, or could possibly have a worse year, I'd probably go with Scrap. Scrap's my guy that I think I have the most concern over. Granted, he was a great player last year, and I think he's a good player, but I think this game is different enough than the last game that we'll see something. We'll see a shift, you know. But other than that, that's about all I got for this episode. This is gonna be my last one. I'll be working, of course. But my buddy Noah Praxis, my co-host, he'll be around, giving y'all content and sharing his insight for the next 2 weeks of games. Like I said, I'm gonna try to get a top 10 plays out for Wednesday, Thursday, right before the Friday matches, so that way you'll have a little bit of content to kind of get y'all ready for the next week. Hopefully whenever I get back, maybe we can run some watch parties. I don't think the CDL is going to be on while I'm home, unfortunately. But yeah, thank you for watching. We'll record more episodes whenever I get back, and it'll be back to the two of us. We'll see you guys next time. Appreciate it.